So today we're talking about, are you a locksmith or are you a codesmith? If you're a locksmith, you know how to pick locks. If you're a codesmith, you pay for the code, cut the key, program the key, and get it to the customer, get on with your way. If you are a locksmith, when you go to a customer to do a key, part of that job is to give them a door key, regardless if it's a push to start car. Now I hear you. I'm going to get it in the comments. Car lots could care less. They just want it the cheapest way possible. Your guy at the auction is not cutting the door key. If you are a locksmith, when you quote the key, you should be including the whole entire job. So let me give you an example. And here's one thing I do not like if you use a yardstick. A lot of you codesmiths like to use the long stick to open up the doors. This particular customer called the locksmith out, air quote. He came, he yardsticked the door. Once he long sticked it, he programmed a push to start key, gave them a key. It lasted for a couple weeks, stopped working, they couldn't get in the car. Had to call him back. He comes back, he does something with the key, gets him in the car again by sticking the door. Key works for another couple weeks. Key breaks again. They call him. This time he had trouble getting into the car. He bowed out the door, scratched the entire top seal, like completely skinned the top seal of the door, but the icing on the cake, dented the roof rail of this vehicle, took the paint off and dented the roof rail using the long stick to try and open the door. If you're going to be a locksmith, you need to learn how to leashy. Leashy will do no damage, 0 damage to get into a vehicle. By far, the quickest, easiest, and safest way to get into a vehicle is with leashy. There is no reason to use a long stick. Now, I get it. There are going to be times where you have to. I get it. Those 2 times should be few and far between. This customer paid good money for a key that doesn't work and no key to physically get in the car when the key, the push to start or the remote doesn't work. That's not a locksmith. I'm going to give you an example of just how quickly you can leashy a door lock. I'm going to use an ignition because it's the only thing I have. But I'm really, really feeling bad for this customer. They had to call me. I made them 2 keys. I picked the door and I gave them a door key. They have a complete set now. I charged just as much as the other guy did to do half the job. So if you're a locksmith, you need to learn how to leashy. If you're a codesmith, if you can't get the code, then you probably should pass on the job. But let me show you. You can pick a lock, almost any lock, and there are exceptions. I know I'm going to hear it in the comments. There are exceptions. Almost any lock can be picked in less than a minute. So let's take an example of this key ignition. I've already picked this one on a YouTube short, but we're going to pick it again. I guarantee you, less than a minute. Let's dive into it. All right, hopefully this can be seen. Here's the lock. I can't see this. I got a makeshift little camera mount here, but let's just look. All right, somebody start the timer. 1 is springy. 3, let's pick it. It's springy now. 5 is springy. 7, now springy. 2 is springy. 4, she's springy now. 6, springy now. 8, come on. Look at that. First try. I bet I can do it again. Let's do it again. Let's just see. Somebody start the counter over. Let's just do it in succession. 1, springy. 2, springy. 3, needs to get picked. All right, she's springy now. 4, springy. 5 is picked. 6, picked. 7, picked. 8, she doesn't want to go, but okay. Let's work our way back. Springy. springy, 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 springy. There it is right there. Somebody count that. Bet the whole thing was less than a minute. As I exampled with picking that ignition, there is absolutely no reason to do any damage to anybody's vehicle with a long stick, with an airbag, nothing. You should be able to pick that lock. If you're a locksmith, you should be able to pick that lock. Now there are going to be exceptions to the rule, but you will have to use the long stick. I get that. But for 99 of the calls you go to, you should never have to use a long stick. The long stick should be the last thing you pull out. You should be able to pick the lock. Even on lockouts, there's no reason to get the long stick out. Go leashy the lock. Open the door. It's very simple, but this is a must-have skill. You cannot be going and damaging people's vehicles. Like, there should be zero damage to somebody's vehicle, especially when using a leashy. You will not have that. It's absolutely unacceptable to deliver subpar service when somebody's giving you their money. Like, it's just a pet peeve of mine. But when you damage somebody's car because of inexperience, then you need to learn. You need to get training, or you need to practice. There are locks that will not go as fast as I just picked that. Sometimes HU 101, prime example. Sometimes it takes a while to pick HU 101. You have to pick it a few times. HU 64, another one. Sometimes it takes a few times. Most locks can be picked in a minute or less. This is very easy once you learn it. If you do not know how to do it, go get yourself some locks and some leashies. Start with a Chrysler leashie. It will be very easy. But under no circumstances should you ever do damage to a customer's car. You should never. I should have taken a video of it. This thing where the stick scraped the entire weather strip off and put a huge dent in the corner rail where he sticked it in the door and took the paint off is unacceptable to a customer, especially paying, a customer that's paying you or has paid you in this situation to make a key. I got them taken care of, but there's no reason to damage a customer's car. Just a PSA. I get a little perturbed when somebody gives you money and you don't offer the value that you're charging them for. Have a great day.